Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. The more responsibility you take, the more you empower yourself to actually do something about that pain. Don't take people for granted. You never know when they could be gone. You never know how much they mean to you until they're gone. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try and paint a different picture. Hands that were on your shoulder during bad times are more valuable than the hands that clap for you on your success. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better. It makes you feel better. Accept things as they are. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future. It's about living in the now. People who play roles will eventually forget their lines. Pay attention. You are always responsible for how you act, no matter how you feel. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Learn to deal with people for who they are, not who you want to be. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions over an inordinate amount of time. You can either choose a happy, conventional, and stress-free life, or you can choose a very interesting, but more difficult and meaningful life. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. When you blame someone else for your problems, you're giving them power over you. You're allowing them to define and dictate your happiness and well-being. People start hating you when they cannot control you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone else, you have already forgotten your value. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. You don't find your purpose somewhere else. You create your purpose exactly where you are, and you bear meaning to it. No single thing will solve all your problems. No goal, no achievement, no relationship. You will always feel mildly inadequate and somewhat dissatisfied with your life. A happy life is not a life without stress. It's a life of meaningful stress. You won't forget some bad things. You just stop caring. Until that happens, don't stress too much about it. It's never too late to do the thing you've always wanted to do. Don't let naysayers discourage you because they may be projecting their own insecurities. The more you love yourself, the more you'll detach yourself from things that don't love you. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. You can have results or excuses, not both. Growth happens when you start doing things that you're not qualified to. Be smart enough to ask for advice, but be wise enough to know who to seek it from. With time, the more wins with fear you can accumulate, the more fearless you will become. Never make someone a priority who only makes you an option. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things worth feeling good about. A lot of things broke your heart, but fixed your vision. Never deny yourself an experience just because it's unknown or uncomfortable. It may just be a defining and wonderful part of your life. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Your entire life can change in an instant, so instead of passively taking what you have for granted, be grateful for it and do whatever good you can with it. One of the most dangerous things you can do is believe someone's opinion about you. Your relationship with others is a direct reflection of your relationship with yourself. Your tomorrow can be very different from today if you try. Keep thinking about what is not working today, and I promise you that your tomorrow won't either. It's not about having time, it's about making time. You can't always be nice. That's how people take advantage of you. Sometimes you have to set boundaries. Destroy the old you before it destroys you. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Never be so loyal that you betray yourself. You cannot have everything. You always exchange something for something. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. We are defined by what we give up, what we sacrifice, and what we reject. You are merely a reflection of the preferences and demands of the people around you. If you don't decide who you are, other people will decide for you. You grow as much as the amount of truth you're willing to accept about yourself without running away. There is always time. The only question is how long you will make excuses and pretend that it doesn't exist. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. The worst kind of enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Do not discuss your past with anyone, because only you know its true story and significance. Others may not understand, or even use it against you. Success and failure are fuzzy concepts that only exist in your mind before you do something, not after. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you will see all around you, the more generous life will seem, and the happier you will become. Sometimes you need to stop seeing the good in people and start seeing what they show you. If there's something you want to do in life, don't wait. If you do, you might find 5 years have passed without you doing anything. Most of your problems disappear once you start hanging out with smarter, more thoughtful people. Everything comes to you at the right time. Be patient and trust the process. You can't always help. Sometimes you will watch people you love make terrible decisions despite the advice you give them. Envy is a waste of time. You already have all you need. Sometimes the world is trying to tell you who you are, but if you don't stop to reflect and listen, you'll never be able to hear. Enjoy every bit of your life to the fullest. Your compromises and sacrifices will be rewarded. An apology without change is just a manipulation. You don't really know the person you're with until you move in together. Never marry anyone without living with them first. Hurting them back will not heal your pain. Someday you will look back and know exactly why it had to happen. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Stop having relationship problems with people you are not in relationships with. Once you lose someone, it is never exactly the same person who comes back. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. If you say you'll do something, do it. Your word is one of the most valuable things you can cultivate, and if your word ever loses that value, it will be hard to get it back. Trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. You might not enjoy discipline, but you'll enjoy the results. You won't always be able to help someone change for the better if you keep trying. There will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change. The cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Be careful who you share your weaknesses with. Some people can't wait for the opportunity to use them against you. In solitude, the mind gains strength and learns to lean upon itself. Sooner or later, a person who wears two faces forgets which one is real. What you allow is what will continue. Your true friends become apparent when you're at your lowest. Live life the way you want to live it, because even people who care for you can't be with you every step of the way. You're going to make a lot of people mad doing what's right for you. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Potential means you haven't done anything yet. Maturing is realizing that overplaying your part in people's lives to prove your loyalty is only proving how much less you value yourself. Deal with people the way they deal with you. If you're lucky enough to get a second chance at something, don't waste it. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. There's a reason why some people are not in your life anymore. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Most people are only nice when things don't matter. Never be so kind you forget to be clever, and never be so clever you forget to be kind. You'll be alone in the most difficult times of your life. These times will make you wise, mature, and fearless. Some people only care about you if you are doing something for them. When you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. The truth is that maturing is realizing that a relationship can always work out and always be fixed no matter the situation. One wrong step can change everything. Don't lie, don't cheat, be honest, and be loyal. Never take someone's feelings for granted. You never know how much courage they took to share them. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You can't really control someone's loyalty towards you. You can do so much for someone and still not be treated well. If you blame it on someone else, don't expect it to get better. One day you'll have a clean, quiet house and a car with a spotless interior, and all you'll want is for the ones who made the mess to come home. Action proves who someone is. Words just prove who they pretend to be. Once you feel you are avoided by someone, never disturb them again. Be cautious with good deeds. Kindness has limits, and some may exploit your generosity. Your progress does not need to be seen or validated by others to be real. Expectation always hurts, so expect less or no expectation from others. You'll ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. The only time you should look into someone else's bowl is to make sure they have enough. Given the choice between being right and being kind, choose kind. Don't take criticism from anyone you would not take advice from. When you're working for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. A person who doesn't have a life of their own will always try to create drama in yours. You can't lose what you never had. You can't keep what's not yours, and you can't hold on to some things that don't want to stay. Life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. Most people will deceive you if you give them at least half a chance. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. When you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. To forget is the secret of eternal youth. One grows old only through memory. There's much too little forgetting. If you have to keep asking yourself if something is worth it, then maybe it's not. He who wants to hold on to that is losing. Those who are ready to let go with a smile are trying to keep him. If it were easy, everybody would do it. The more primitive a man is, the better he believes himself to be. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. Modesty and conscientiousness receive their reward only in novels. In life, they are exploited and then shoved aside. Don't take criticism from anyone you would not take advice from. Education in knowing things means nothing if you're not willing to put in effort and use what you know. Strive to be the man you want your daughter to marry. If you blame it on someone else, don't expect it to get better. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. Never tell your boss you're bored. Be alone sometimes. It is important for your mind and well-being. The first person you think of in the morning and the last person you think of at night is either the cause of your happiness or the cause of your pain. Not always sorry for the one who is wrong, asking forgiveness of the one who values the relations. Figure out what you love to do, and then figure out how to get someone to pay you to do it. Don't make decisions when you're angry. Don't make promises when you're happy. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Clean dishes as you cook. Letting go is very hard, but it's the best thing to do. Avoid bad habits. They will become harder to break as you get older. If you try to please everybody, somebody won't like it. Smart girls like to hear they're pretty. Pretty girls like to hear that they're smart. You don't really know the person you're with until you move in together. Never marry anyone without living with them first. If you're not dating to marry, then you're dating for heartbreak. Let that sink in. Be in a serious relationship. A person can become close to you in 3 days, and the one who lives near you for years may never know what your favorite color is. Women do not need to explain anything. You always have to act with them. Being in love is when you want to get old with someone. It's only terrible to have nothing to wait for. It is very clear that the unhappiness of the world is so often brought on by small men. A woman should not tell a man that she loves him. Let her shining, happy eyes speak about this. They are more eloquent than any words. A lonely person cannot be abandoned. Keep things at arm's length. If you let anything come too near, you want to hold on to it, and there is nothing a man can hold on to. We have so much to say, and we shall never say it. Never stop the other person from talking, because the worst thing that could happen to them is you proving them wrong. Think with your big head, not your little one. Don't judge anyone based on the rumors that you have heard about them. Know people by yourself and have your own opinion. Go for someone you perceive to be out of your league. You'll surprise yourself. The clock does not determine when the job is done. Keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. Observe for all the information. Potential means you haven't done anything yet. Life can take a loved one at any time, so cherish those you love. Make time for family and friends and tell people you love them often. People have to do a lot of stupid shit to figure out what they really want. It is better to die when you want to live than to live before you want to die. What you can't get always seems better than what you have. This includes the romance and idiocy of human life. Strange how complicated we can make things just to avoid showing what we feel. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. The best way to lose a woman is to show her a kind of life that one could offer her for only a few days. A man only begins to be valued when he is no longer there. Whatever happens to you, never take it personally. Nothing in this world is so important. I stood next to her, listened to her, laughed, and thought how terrible it is to love a woman and be poor. It is a mistake to assume that all people have the same ability to feel. Don't try to fit in where you're not wanted. There's no quick and easy way to achieve or attain something valuable and hard-earned. Anyone else who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. Save money as soon as you get paid, and not what's left. It was a melancholy secret that reality can arouse desires but never satisfy them. If a woman saves money on herself, it means that it makes men want to save money on her. Our knowledge of life is limited to death. What comfort there is in the skin of someone you love. Good or ill, life is life. You only realize that when you have to risk it. A friend standing behind is worse than an enemy standing in front. Nothing changes if nothing changes. The most important thing you can learn is personal responsibility. Bad things happen. It's your job to overcome them. Cooking and cleaning are basic life skills and not a gender role. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Don't borrow anything you can't afford to replace. Trust is built over the life of a relationship, but can be lost in an instant if you're not careful. Everyone saves someone at least once, just as he kills someone at least once, even though he may not know it. A woman becomes smarter when she is in love, whereas a man loses his mind. The things men did or felt they had to do. Love should not be polluted with friendship. If you're interested in a girl, see what her mother looks like. That's how she will turn out after marriage. Brush your teeth before you put on your tie. No job is beneath one's dignity. Do not judge a person by their words. Judge them by their actions. No matter what the circumstance, drive defensively. Your only goal in driving is to reach the destination safely. A woman will never want sex with a man who doesn't get her hints. Always go out into public dressed like you're about to meet the love of your life. Don't let emotions affect your life, no matter if those emotions are your own or someone else's. Learn to earn $10,000 to $53,000 a month editing, just like I do on my YouTube channels. Join our school and get free promotion, monetization guidance and support. Link in bio.